This episode is brought to you by GMC. When you have 4 new tires, every drive feels fresh. Right now, buy 3 select tires and get 1 for just $1 during the GMC Certified Service Fresh Start Tire Event. Visit gmc.com/service offers or see dealer for full details. At participating U.S. GM dealers only, highest or equal value tire will be $1. Offer ends 5/31/2025. Not available with other offers.
This episode is brought to you by Loom by Atlassian. Are you feeling stuck at work? Get your team unstuck with Loom video messaging and move work forward. Use Loom to simultaneously record both your screen and yourself to share a quick update, provide feedback, train a colleague, and everything in between. Plus, add Loom AI to your meetings for instant written notes and recordings. Try Loom today at Loom.com. That's LOOM.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Stager.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops. It's been a while, Coach.
It has been. Reality hit us. School. You're getting ready for your season.
School and it's like holy crud. Yeah, a little bit of.
You probably had to send your kid off to college again.
Yep, he's off. He's not. He's still
sophomore year, right?
Sophomore year, and my daughter doing the whole. You wait till you get to your kids get old and start doing the college thing. Then you got to like the application process and.
Your daughter's a senior this year, right?
She is. So I'll be empty nester, man. Empty nester next year.
You're gonna be really bored. Maybe not.
I'm never bored, but it's a spectrum of boredom, I guess.
A reality check that you're getting older.
Yeah, it is a reality check. It's like Coach and I before we came out and going, wow, both of us look really tired. It's like, well, crud, yeah. It's like jumping back on the horse mid race or whatever.
Yeah, you go from not working at all to working every day. It's a different feel. Right.
I think with COVID and all that kind of stuff. All right. So what's today's topic? This was mine, right? Do you remember?
Yep. So you forgot to talk about our sponsors because we haven't done this in a while. You want to?
Oh, crud! I didn't do that. Wow. See, everyone that's listening can't see.
I'm on point still because I still got another 20 years to probably teach. He's in retirement mode, so he really.
I'm laying in bed on my phone. Coach goes, "I'm up, ready. I'm up. Let's do the podcast." All right, give me some time.
Hey, I got to get in the gym today. I got to get my workout in. So.
All right. Yep. So our sponsors, Dr. Dish, the best shooting machine on the market, bar none. Go over and check them out. We had a coaches meeting with my coaches, which has something to do with what we're going to talk about. But anyway, we were talking about the machines, and we have an old one because it's probably older than 10, 12 years. Anyway, some of the plastic started to crack, so we had to kind of fix it. Anyway, but they are great machines. They hold up. Mention us, mention me, mention High School Hoops, mention Coach Unplugged, mention anything related. They'll give you $400 off. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. And going back to what Coach said, yes, it's, Coach and I do this because it's fun, but Teach Hoops, my son's got to eat in college. So it helps me Venmo him money so he can go to the grocery store. So help us out. Go over and check out teachhoops.com. One-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's got everything you need. I need 36 hours in a day to put all the content I still have in the queue ready to be loaded up. But anyway, I'm working on it. Every time I have a free 5 minutes. Last night I was texting one of my friends and it's like midnight and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm grading papers." That's what I'm doing. So I'm not uploading to teachhoops.com, but I'm working on it.
That's why you're tired.
That's probably why I'm tired. Watching Abbott Elementary. Have you watched Abbott Elementary?
Yeah, sadly, it feels really true sometimes.
Oh, it's 100% true. What are you talking about? It's partly true.
Yeah, you
Abbott Elementary. Anyway,
never know who's listening to our podcast.
I don't care. It's 100% true. Like, don't ask for that. You're not going to get. It's like, yep. Oh, it's you being an elementary school teacher. I bet it hits a little bit closer to home too.
Sadly, yes.
It's so true. Like, if you haven't, I have no affiliation with Abbott Elementary, but it's funny. If you're a teacher, give it a handful of episodes. Don't just give it one or two, and
for sure,
I think you'll be hooked. All right, go ahead, Coach. What's the topic?
Preseason meeting. So how do you conduct a successful one? I would tell you my first thing is I thought about how we started at 8:26 is probably have an agenda set up. Like you want to have a list of things you want to get done, because knowing you or your staff or the people that you're with, you haven't seen in a while, and you're going to get off topic, and then you're not going to get as much done. So,
well, you and I catch up. So I'm going to defend us. So it takes us like a half hour to get going on the podcast when we batch some of these, but we haven't talked to each other in a month. So we catch up. It's catch up time. Like, that's right. We were catching up in each other's lives. So that's part of the agenda. You put that in our agenda, build in 25 minutes to catch up when we talk.
There you go.
But anyway, I think there's a couple things. First of all, I think there's two meetings. So I think there's the preseason coaches meeting, and I think there's the preseason players meeting. So let's talk players meeting first. End of early October, end of September usually is when we have our first. I usually give my team and my players, obviously I'm in contact with the guys that were, they're going to probably have a possibility of being on my team. So we've had open gyms and stuff like that, but so there's already contact, but a formal meeting about make sure you have everything in and your physical and all that kind of stuff. We usually do that. We do it. We're doing it a little different this year. We're going to do freshmen and sophomores together, and we're going to do juniors and seniors together.
Even if they're a varsity caliber player.
Yeah, I'll grab freshmen and sophomores that are good enough to possibly make my team, because if I pull them, they're probably going to make my team. So they're probably good enough. I've probably seen enough that they're good enough. But it's more a numbers thing, especially, and we didn't even talk about the construction that's happening in our school. So we have lunch issues and construction issues and all sorts of stuff. So we're trying to break it up into a little bit thing. But for me, this meeting is really administrative, and it's not a rah. I think we can do this. I'll do that when I do my secondary meeting about a month ahead of the season, maybe a little 3 weeks, where I think we can do this. Here's what I'm going to expect. Don't make plans over Christmas. This meeting tends to be very logistical and agenda. Like I have in front of me a white piece of paper, like A, B, C, D, the things that I need to go through with them.
Sit and get that you have all that thing laid out.
Right. Like sign in here. This is what we're thinking. Here's what you should do. What do you, I'm thinking of doing a Google form. I've never done a Google form sign in at a meeting. I'm thinking of maybe doing that. I usually just do it on a piece of paper because I'm old school and sign your name and what class you're in. We'll see. Anyway, so that I found what was your first player or preseason player meeting look like?
I would say very similar. I bring the whole program in. Are we talking players or parents? Or are we talking players and parents?
No, see, I don't do parents until we pick the team. I don't do a pre.
Okay.
And I know there's coaches that do that. I've never done that. And maybe it wasn't a thing 35 years ago. And I've seen more of that around, that you do a preseason, but it's like, I don't need to necessarily have a meeting with, that's my alarm to come talk to you. You keep talking. You hear that in the background? Let me go turn that off.
So one thing that I do, or I have done in the past, instead of doing a sign-in sheet, I think is really unique and something that you can do, is you basically just create a small little template of a half piece of paper. And on that half piece of paper, you have a couple pieces of information. So you don't have all the clutter of people coming in and signing in. So you do like a half sheet. So you put the name, what grade they're in, and maybe 2 questions that you really want to see where your players or the kids coming into your program are things that you're really focusing on this season. So what's your goal for this season? How do you feel? Whatever. Just 2 questions to get them thinking about basketball. And then you can use those half sheets to basically create to create your template of how many kids attended your meeting. So it's kind of an opportunity for them to fill a little bit of information and be able to kind of start thinking about the season instead of just coming in and signing in. It's a little bit more of an interactive piece to get them start thinking about basketball. Again, it's really logistical. This is what we do, how we do things.
Right. Yeah. And going back to when the alarm went off, the reason I don't do the preseason parent thing is I don't need to talk to the parents of the kids I'm not keeping.
Yeah. And so
like my theory
again, and everybody's, it's all different though. So you coach at a very, very big high school where cuts do happen.
Right.
Some programs now, the smaller communities, they're just trying to get kids in, right? And there hasn't been cuts in a long time. So, your approach might be completely different, compared to, because like, I agree, like it would be a waste of somebody's time to get them all in. If you know that some of these kids aren't going to be, you have to be real with them. Right.
Right. And the thing is, it's like, I want kids to try, and you never know, but it's like, and especially as a parent, that's what you definitely want to do. You want your kid to experiment and learn things and try things and do some of those.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
But it's like, why are you hearing about our Christmas trip to Florida when your kid's not? I mean, it's not
so basically, is there like your first preseason meeting really about like the first week of basketball?
It is. It tends to be
basically how to get yourself ready for that point that week, and then you kind of go back with them after that week is done.
So usually what happens is we'll pick teams. Well, we can talk about this later, but we pick teams, and then maybe 2 days after I pick the team, we'll have a parent meeting at that point and do some of the logistical. Here's what has to happen. Here's the stuff. It's just it just falls into that category. So that's the first and then.
So my question to you is, what is the essential pieces of information that you want to get out if you're doing that pre? What are the
grades?
Okay.
Because we're like halfway through first quarter, or
kind of for coaches to think about what are things like, if I'm going to put like if I'm going to pick 5 things or really important things I want to communicate to players, what would it be?
Yep. So, I talk about grades. I talk about physical, and we have a user. You have to pay to play kind of thing. So user's fee. So make sure those are taken care of. All the waivers, all the legalese. So probably 1 is grades, 2 is legalese, like
the physical paperwork,
all that stuff, all the paperwork that needs to happen because we live in a lawyer world.
Yep.
So those 2 that's really the reason I'm having the meeting is those 2. So I conveyed those 2, and then I will briefly talk about here's when tryouts are going to be. Here's how the team's going to be picked. When our first game is, who we're going to play. I talk about some maybe logistical,
like basically
things.
Also, do you talk about making sure that you're in good basketball shape before the season starts? Is that
something? I do. And again, we'll talk about this in a later podcast, but I'm talking, there's a very fine line between that fall athlete and the non-fall athlete.
Which we'll talk about next week.
Yeah. And all that. So, I talk about some of that, and, staying healthy, and I'll probably have if I were you, I'd get a flu shot, COVID shot kind of thing. I don't think that will get me fired, but I don't know. Anyway,
I often tell people too, is make sure you're making good choices, because around holidays people make stupid decisions. I've lost players for 8 games because of certain situations, because of
big barn party. Yes.
Seriously. and it's a reality. So I think it's important to really put your voice inside their head kind of thing, saying, okay, what would this situation put me in with the season, you know?
Right. Yeah, because they're teenagers. Their frontal cortex, the cerebral cortex is not fully developed at all. Now, I think for boys, it's 25. I think I read that or heard that somewhere.
That explains everything.
It does explain a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so what else, Coach?
I think that's pretty good.
Then we got to do the coaches meeting.
Yeah.
Coaches preseason meeting.
Yep.
Oh, what did you talk about in your coaches preseason meeting? I'd be interested to know what you did before
I would be honest with you. We start looking at the players a little bit, what we're coming back with, what roster sizes are going to look like in a smaller community, how we're going to make that work. Smaller communities sometimes have kids play more than one half, looking at how we're going to make that work logistically, practice schedule, what we're going to do in regard and availability, and kind of basically, start to create our practice schedule, depending. Yeah,
that's what we talk. And again, I kind of, my preseason meeting with the coaches tends to be a little bit logistical too.
Right. These are the kids that, I would say, to me, it would make more sense to do the player meeting before the coaches meeting.
Yes.
Because then you get more information and data of where you are with kids. And so, really that information that you get kind of leads what you're going to do with your coaches. All right, these are the players. We're expecting 27, 28 freshmen coming out, so many sophomores, juniors, seniors. These are returning players, and just, kind of go there, because I think you're going to start talking about X's and O's later on. I'm sure you're going to have several meetings throughout before probably a meeting a week. I don't know how many meetings you have each week with your staff, but
it's usually be every other week. I'm thinking this week of possibly doing a retreat with my staff. Go up on a Saturday, come back on a Sunday kind of thing, and just dive into our team and the stuff we do and why we do it and how we're going to practice. And so I'm thinking of maybe doing that.
I would tell you right now, I think that's a great idea, because we're kind of not saying post-COVID, but people are tending to be more comfortable to do things like that. And I think people want to do things like that. I think one of the reasons why I'm so tired this year is like this summer, I did things, I went to concerts, I went on vacation, I did things. We haven't done that in a long time, and so
right.
I think adults are eager to do something like that. I think it would be an awesome idea. I think it's great.
Okay, well, you've convinced me now. Maybe I should do that.
There you go. Oh, last question of the day before we end today.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about having an NFL football player that played for you?
Well, I've had a couple.
Oh, sorry, a couple.
I had a few. You talking about Jake with the Cowboys? Yeah, that's great.
That's cool.
We always predicted he was going to be one.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's just a piece.
Well, just because of his body type and his athleticism, and it doesn't surprise me. He's a perfect 6'5", quick, fast, athletic, tight end, football family, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's great. I don't love the Cowboys, but I love Jake. So, yeah, I'll root for the Cowboys because of him. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's all good. It's pretty exciting, actually. I've never been a big Sunday sit down and watch football games kind of guy. So
I tend to watch a little college football if I'm going to watch football, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like the environment.
Yeah. And it's just never twirled my.
It's great. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. It is. All right. Till next week, Coach.
Sounds good.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.